And he's like, that's the spot. And then drives us around Colby's house, points out the trampoline, does a lap around the block. And I'm telling Colby all this. And he's like, uh-huh.
Yep.
And we do one lap, and Andrew's like, you ready to go? I'm like, maybe we should take another lap to, like, formulate a plan. He's like, all right. We took 3 more laps, bro, before Andrew's like, it's now or never. They probably noticed we're lapping this place. Like, it's now or never. And Andrew pulls to the side of the road, and he's, go! And it was me, Andrew, and I forget who else was in the car with us. But we break out of the car, doors open, we run into the yard, we grab the stairs, go! And all 3 of us pick it up, and it was heavy as shit. We were weak as fuck. And we pick up the stairs, and we run it to the car, and we're running full bore, and the edge of the stairs hits the door jambs of the car, and we stop in our tracks.
Fuck.
And, like, about bust our shoulders out of our sockets. And we all 3 bump at the same time. We're just,
that's awesome.
So if anybody in the house was looking outside and saw what was going on, they're like, what are these remedial kids doing with the steps? What the hell? Should we go stop them? It's like, no. They'll stop themselves. Like, let's
dude, that's awesome.
see what's happening. And we try one more time, and we're trying to shove this thing in there.
They built that motherfucker outside. Right. You ain't getting in the car.
Right. And they were like, never mind, forget it. And we roll the stairs over, we all hop in the car, and we drove off. And I was like, and fast forward back to SCW telling this story to Colby, I was like, yeah, so me and my buddies tried to steal your ring stuff, and it didn't go, didn't go as planned. His only fucking comment, arms still crossed, he goes, ha, I would have fucking killed you.
That's the fucking truth, bro. That is coming from God.
And I was like, yeah, no, you're right. So I'm gonna go work on my ring ropes now.
Dude, wrestling was life for Colby, bro. Like, I mean, obviously it fucking rolled over. You know what I mean? Like, people were laughing at him when we were young.
Yeah.
He told people he was going to be a pro wrestler. They laughed.
And they're like, sure.
They laughed at him in high school, dude. He walked around with his EHW fucked up man-made belt that they had. It was all fucking stupid looking. It was uglier and fuck. It's like, what the fuck is that thing on your shoulder, man? It looks like you took a shit on a fake toy belt and just fucking threw it together.
Is that duct tape?
Yeah, right?
Don't worry about it.
There was duct tape on that motherfucker. But you know what I mean? He walked around proud, man. Yeah. Like, that was his thing. He loved pro wrestling, and I think that's what, like, drew me into him. It was like, man, he doesn't give a fuck about what anybody thinks. He knows what he wants to do, and it, like, drew you in, man. It was like, I'm fucking gravitating towards that, and that whole personality. And Mikey and Logan were, you know, they were both the same way. Shit, to this day, I know for a fact Mikey could be, he could have been on TV. Mikey was fucking good, dude. When we were getting trained later on, but we'll get to that. Hang on. We'll get to that. Yeah. We'll get to that. I'll pause the story.
Okay, so here we go. So when it came to training.
Yes. Which was high school for me.
Okay. And were you trained by SCW? Or did you actually go, or were you training with Danny shortly after, or when did training come in for you?
I mean, I knew some stuff because of Michael Ray. He actually moved to Chicago. Yeah. Got some training.
Yeah, I knew he got trained, and like, he was one of the few guys in the back for a while that was trained.
Yeah, he was trained, and, you know, taught us how to bump and do certain things.
Yeah. So for a while, he became, like, the lead trainer, or?
Yeah, he kind of was, man. Yeah. Like, we learned a lot from him, because he went and got trained in Chicago. So we learned a lot of our stuff. We're doing shows, and we thought we were going to quit. Didn't quit. It was back and forth. A lot of stuff back and forth at the time. So Mikey and Colby were going to move to Philly and train with CM Punk.
Yeah.
They went and did the tryout, and CM Punk loved him. Like, he fucking loved him.
Yeah.
Like, he saw something in them. I mean, how could you couldn't at the time? Like, both those guys were fucking jacked, in shape, young dudes who could do cool shit, and they fucking loved wrestling. They fucking loved wrestling.
Yeah.
Both of them at the time. Anyway, shit fell through. They both ended up coming back home. And I remember going to local shows, not just local shows, Chicago, fucking, IWA. We would drive like 6 hours to watch an IWA show, put up the fucking ring, help tear it down, and then drive 6 hours home. We used to do it all the time.
That happens, yeah.
So,
that's part of paying dues,
right?
Getting noticed.
And fucking Colby, Nick, well, later on Nick, but we would do those all the time. We would do that shit all the time. And I remember buying the Best of Danny Daniels Volume 2, I think was on VHS.
Yeah.
I thought Danny's shit was fantastic, man. Yeah. And he made me think, like, all right, this guy, me and him are close to the same height. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, all right, I can fucking do that. I can do what he's doing.
Right.
I can fucking do it if I got that big. Danny was in shape at the time, man. He was in fucking jack, too. You know what I mean? He was in fucking shape. I remember Colby going, yeah, fucking Danny Daniels. He ain't good, bro. It's fucking boring, bro. I'm like, fuck you, man. He's good. He's fucking good, man. Yeah. And, like Colby, come to find out, was like, all right, I got 2 places to go. I got Andrew Priest or I got Danny Daniels. I'm like, go with Danny, dude. Yeah. Fucking, go do Danny. It was him and Nick at the time. They wanted to fucking do it. I was still in high school. You know what I mean? So they started training with Danny. It was a matter of time before fucking Colby was like, oh, man, Danny's fucking...
Right.
He's fucking...
Till he caught on.
Yeah, he fucking do, because Danny fucking was trained old school. He was trained by Al Snow. Al Snow's my pro wrestling grandfather, by the way. Just name dropping that!
I remember seeing that, actually.
So, he was trained old school, man. He trained us old school. Like, I always thought, like, man, why the fuck are we doing all these stupid rolls? These suck. They suck. I hate rolls. I hate this. Like, let me do all these fucking 5 million rolls and then fucking take bumps. He was Miyagiing us, bro.
Yeah.
Wax on, wax off. Like paint up, paint down. Like it's like, oh shit, that just comes natural to you now.
Paint the fence.
Exactly. Like it comes natural to you now because you go, something goes wrong. You can get yourself out of it with a roll or, you know what I mean? There's Eddie Guerrero saved himself with a fucking 3/4 roll, bro.
Right.
In his car accident. He
Right.
saved himself with a fucking 3/4 roll, bro. Like, it was a Superman 3/4 roll, saved his life.
The roll is Eddie Guerrero approved.
Yes.
Yeah.
It saved his life in his car. I guarantee it did. It was like, I'm fucking drunk, but I do this all the time. And he
Tucked the head.
fucking tucked and rolled, and it saved his life. I know he was fucked up, and a lot of stuff went wrong with him. But think about if he would have landed
natural.
on his head. Eddie wouldn't have made it. And would have never made WWE, and all that shit would have never happened. Pro wrestling could save a life.
It's a reflex.
It becomes one.
Not just in life, but in the matches, it becomes a reflex. Like something's going wrong.
Second nature, man.
Yeah.
I slipped on ice a few years ago.
Yes.
Back bump. Chin chug. People laughing at me. I'm like, yeah, that sucked, but anybody else would have fell. They would have broke a fucking arm and they would have hit their head.
Right.
Not me. Fuck you guys. You can laugh all you want. Cocksuckers.
Couple of Advil, I'll be fine.
I'll be alright.
Yeah.
Knock the wind out of me maybe for a second.
Now, okay, so SCW is where everything started. What was past SCW and after training?
Yeah.
You start venturing out and looking for other places to wrestle, or did somebody come to you?
It was, all right, so in Chicago area, Danny had come to a point where he was starting to work a lot with the company.
Yeah.
Which I think to my knowledge was owned by Tony Scarpone.
Okay.
To my knowledge at the time, which Tony was coming and working with SCW a lot, and he saw me, Colby, and all of us when we were young and shit.
Yeah.
And to my knowledge, he owned that company at that point, and I think it ventured into Danny and Jim's hands. If I'm not, I might be wrong, but I think, and then
Jim Jesus
at the time,
okay.
And I think that's how I remember it.
Yeah.
But Pekovich and Mike Pekovich, it was like Danny, Mike Pekovich, and Jim. But it might have been just Jim and Danny at the time. Because Jim was a big deal on the radio at the time. Jim Jesus, and he was a big deal on the radio at the time. So it was cool. So, all right, Danny got his hands on this company, and then Nick and Colby had started working there a lot as, Black and the Brave.
Yeah.
Fucking bringing the real metal to shows, man. Coming out to fucking Killswitch Engage.
Yeah.
Fixation on the Darkness, we were talking about earlier, which is, dude, one of the coolest fucking songs ever.
It still gets me pumped every time.
Every time I hear it, I'm like, I want to start jumping.
Yeah.
I just want to jump off the ground. Every time I fucking hear it, and it's like, dude, if I was a wrestling fan, and I was at a show, and I didn't really know who these guys were, and that song kicked in, I'm like, man, I would have fucking, hair on my neck would have stood up, and I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? This is awesome.
Right.
And they both come out with long hair and fucking headbanging, and dude, it was like new. It was new and cool at the time, dude, and I think that's why it took off the way it did.
Yeah.
So, and then that's how AEW kind of started. It was like Danny's kids were like a big deal. And, a lot of guys in the Chicago area did not like us. Did not like anybody who was dealt with Danny. And...
Oh, not just bringing...
No, it
Colby
wasn't
Nick,
just...
It was...
It was Colby and Nick got, Colby... Nick got a lot of Colby seed. Because Colby didn't know how to keep his fucking mouth shut at shows. And I'm sure he doesn't mind me saying this now, because look at him, he's on fucking top. He's the man.
Right.
So... I will tell a story that I was told later on that Colby had walked into a locker room and, of all places, IWA, which is at the time the biggest independent company around. The Ted Petty Invitational is fucking huge.
Yeah.
So he walks into an IWA locker room and goes, "Nobody in this locker room looks like a man except me and Eric Priest."
Oh shit.
Right? I'm sure Nick was like, "Bro, you just fucked my whole wrestling career up." I'm sure, dude, I would have turned and looked at him like, "You just shut the fuck up."
Right.
Shut up.
That's walking into the room and farting right near the fan.
Yeah, exactly. Going, yeah, that smells good because I'm the shit.
Right. That smells like chow mein, don't it? What? You can't do this.
Exactly.
I'm with you.
Exactly, dude. And we were walking in after those guys as Danny's other students.
Right.
Danny just trains fuckheads.
Right. Right.
And Nick wasn't a fuckhead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Nick got a lot of Nick had to prove himself because of that, but Colby always had the gift of doing a lot of cool shit.
Yeah.
But Nick was always up here.
Yeah.
The head, brain smart when it came to psychology of pro wrestling.
Absolutely.
And that's why he's he's the fucking head trainer at that school.
He was the technics. He was the
it's still up there. That brain is fucking, he's a smart man.
Yeah.
When it comes to psychology, and I learned a lot from him and Danny and Colby. It's Nick had it up there. Colby had the fucking physical gifts. He looked great. He did great stuff. He didn't have the mind a lot at the time. And even Danny said it. Didn't have the mind at the time. But Nick always had the mind when it came to psychology and telling stories.
For sure.
So that's why he broke fucking Fabe and everything. Came and go, "That's how you tell a fucking..." He came out and cut a promo and goes, "That's how you tell a fucking story, kid. That's how you work. That's how you fucking sell." And I was like, "Oh shit, this is happening right now?"
Right.
I'm like, dude, that's fucking awesome. And I was like, dude, because Nick was always good at that, man. His selling was Shawn Michaels top notch, man. It was Nick fucking loved Shawn. I love Shawn. Colby loved Shawn.
Well, you could, even as a fan at the time that I know a little bit more about wrestling just from being around you guys as long as I have.
Yeah.
But even at the time, just starting out watching SCW shows for the first time, seeing Nick wrestle, you could tell
that he loves Shawn.
A lot of his motions.
Oh, dude, his facial expressions and everything.
Yeah.
Dude, it was all.
He's
it was
mirroring
all
a lot of shit that he's been watching for the last 19, 20 plus years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, you could see that in every move when he's cutting a promo and he's waving his arm.
The way he even chews his fucking gum, bro.
Yeah, right.
Come on.
Right. So,
but dude, yeah.